You've done it. You've sourced every data amount you can from your organization and put it into one place or in several places, but you can get to it. The real problem is you're struggling to figure out how to provide value to your company from this data. What if I told you there's a simple 6-stage framework to instantly pinpoint millions in hidden revenue or cost savings? In this video, we'll use the Horde Flow system developed by the Google Sheets Fanboy to build a concrete plan right now, showing you exactly where and how to prove your value. This diagram in front of you is what I call the Horde Flow system. This is essentially a diagram for those who have an analytical mind, like myself, that struggle to understand how a business actually kind of functions or flows. It's broken up into 6 stages, and at each stage, as an analyst, you can do one of 2 things. You can find opportunities to increase revenue, or you can find opportunities to decrease costs. That is the whole purpose of this, and your whole purpose of being an analyst is to, 1, increase revenue, or 2, decrease cost. That is how you're going to provide value to the business. Now that we've gone over what the Horde Flow system is briefly, we're going to take those principles and we're going to actually do an exercise using those principles. What you're going to need is a pen and a paper, or if you prefer, you can download the sheet that I'm about to show you in the link below. To get access to it, you just have to join my monthly newsletter. On top of that, you get access to pretty much all my resources and any new future ones I have as long as you're subscribed. I only send an email out once a month, so I'm not trying to spam you. I'm just trying to provide you content. But make sure you got to grab a pen and paper, and I'll hold and pause the video. Once you have it, we'll go on to the next part. If you're not using the worksheet and you didn't download it yet, or you're just using a pen and paper, you're going to need to make 6 boxes, 3 on top, 3 on bottom, kind of like I showed you. But each stage, we're going to have one that's marked marketing, customer journey, sales, customer evaluation, resources, and ops efficiency. Again, if you want to know more in depth about what those are, please check out the video link in the top corner, I believe it is. Underneath all of those, we're going to have 2 columns at each stage. We're going to have a column that says increase revenue and a column that says decrease cost. Once you have all of that, then we move on to the next part. Now we're going to get started with stage 1, marketing, as an example. We're only going to do this stage to save time and reduce the video, because I'm sure you don't want to be here doing all of them. But I encourage you to do the rest of the stages in the same way of thinking of questions on how to increase revenue or decrease cost. Also, if you get stuck, attached to this, I'll also have some example questions or maybe some brainstorming questions that you can use for each stage that might be applicable to you in your situation. If not, ChatGPT and Gemini are a great resource for this as well. Okay, so at this stage, this is where customers are noticing us and we want them to come to us and go through our business flow system. And now we want to think about areas where we can increase revenue. So what can we do to increase revenue? This is where we start to think of questions that might help of ways. We just write down questions that might help ways to increase revenue. Here are some examples maybe. What early indicators show a lead will have a high lifetime value? Or another example, are we positioning ourselves in a way that commands premium pricing? As you can see, those 2 are tailored toward increasing revenue. They each have a different outcome, but they're both tied to a way to increase revenue for the organization. Now let's go on to some decreased cost examples. Question you may ask is, are we over investing in low retention channels? Or is our spending aligned with our customer acquisition benchmark or our CAC benchmark? As you can tell from those 2 questions, they're geared toward more decreasing cost. And those are the type of questions you want to think of. How can we reduce costs? You'll see at this stage, you'll probably have more revenue generating and not as much decreased cost. But if you think real good, you'll find ways to do both. Now let's go and do the rest of them. Okay, before I use the power of editing and fill these out quickly, In the comments below, I want you to think of some questions that you may ask that, one, either drive revenue, or two, decrease costs. Put the stage and the question next to each other so people know exactly where it is, and tell them if you think this is a way to increase revenue or decrease costs. And if you ever get stuck, hopefully this video will generate some ideas and people will comment and leave these ideas for others. If not, you can always go to the worksheet. But my hope is that there'll be enough questions and comments here that you can use as a resource library later on in the future. But now that I went over that and you've had time to write them in the comments because you paused the video, I'm going to put some up here in 3, 2, 1. And there you have it. I filled it out. Here's some examples that you can do. Again, I'll put these examples in with the worksheet download. So if you join the email list, you'll get access to those. And there you have it. I filled it out. Here's some examples that you can do. Again, I'll put these examples in with the worksheet download. So if you join the email list, you'll get access to those. And there you have it. I filled it out. Here's some examples that you can do. Again, I'll put these examples in with the worksheet download. So if you join the email list, you'll get access to those. And there you have it. I filled it out. Here's some examples that you can do. Again, now that you've filled this worksheet out and you have questions, you have a direction in analysis with purposes that you can start to conduct. What you want to do at each of these is open it, make a Google Doc or make a note of what you find beforehand, like how much they're spending, and then after the analysis and after the opportunities that you find, write down what you saved them or what increase in revenue these analyses has brought. This will come in handy when a business is asking you what kind of value have you provided to them. You can now attach that value to a dollar amount and keep your job security a lot better than those are like, oh, I provided a dashboard that saved you this amount of stuff. You have a quantitative measurement that you can share with them. In future videos like this one there, I'm going to go more in depth of how to conduct these analysis, simple ones off, or you can catch me on my live dashboard builds on Thursdays. I'll have an example of one right there. Other than that, good luck and keep an eye analyzing.